The following is a presentation of Fox Sports.
The University of Oklahoma has become a dominant force in women's gymnastics, winning the Big 12 championship every year but one since 2008, and have become a fixture as a national power. This year, led by stars Taylor Spears and Haley Skaman, the Sooners could have their best team ever. Could West Virginia or Iowa State upset them? The 2014 Big 12 Gymnastics Championships are coming up next. Morgantown, West Virginia, home of West Virginia University, and for the first time in any sport, they will play host to a Big 12 conference title event as they welcome the gymnasts to the 2014 Women's Big 12 Gymnastics Championship. Inside the Coliseum, we get gymnastics version of March Madness. We're getting rid of the chalk, or getting rid of the balls and the hoops, and we got the chalk, and we got the balance beams, and we're going to see some of the pound for pound, the greatest athletes in collegiate sports. Welcome, everyone. I'm John Roethlisberger. I'm joined by fellow Olympian and one of the greatest gymnasts in American history, Alicia Quinn. Now, Alicia, Oklahoma comes into this event. They're kings of the hill. There's no question about it. They come in as the top dogs. Can West Virginia or Iowa State legitimately put a little pressure on them?
I think if West Virginia and Iowa really want to stand a chance, Oklahoma's going to have to make some really big mistakes. But anything can happen, so we can see if they put up some good scores and what Oklahoma does.
Oklahoma's ranked number 3 in the nation. They're also, by the way, the only team in the country that's ranked in the top 3 on each individual event. They've won 5 of the last 6 conference championships, and this list, I could go on, but the Open's not long enough. They're just good. Just take our word for it. They are good. Now, Alicia, if we had to pick a couple athletes from Oklahoma that really they're going to lean on, and I know they're great top to bottom, but can you pick out a couple that are really going to put up those big scores?
Oklahoma is really deep. They have a few national team members that used to be there, and now they have Haley Skaman, who's a sophomore. Is having an outstanding year this year. She's currently ranked number 1 in the nation on the floor exercise and has posted up 3 perfect 10s this season alone. Her teammate Taylor Spears is a senior and is last year's reigning Big 12 all-around champion. She's only competing 3 events today, but is looking to add to her 6 individual event titles.
So basically, you're telling me that Oklahoma's deep enough they can put the defending champ on the bench for the all-around competition and still be a contender. They're going to be a lot of fun to watch. Now, West Virginia, Iowa State, we talked about them needing a little bit of help, but who are they going to lean on? They have some all-arounders, they have some individuals that are going to need to really put up some big numbers.
Iowa State is really focusing on one of their seniors, Caitlin Brown. She is currently the only all-arounder competing for their team. She's been their anchor. She's been posting up some strong scores all season, and she is going to be in direct competition with West Virginia's Hope Sloanhofer, who's currently ranked number 1 in the Big 12 Conference. Hope has been posting up consistent high 9.8s and even some 9.9s. It has been West Virginia's strongest competitor.
So it's heating up in the Coliseum. The gymnasts are warming up. And when we come back to Morgantown, we will have the 2014 Women's Big 12 Gymnastics Championships. The athletes, they're coming on the floor. Welcome back to the Big 12 Gymnastics Championships inside the Coliseum on the campus of West Virginia University. And today's event will have 3 teams all competing for the title of Big 12 champion: Iowa State, Oklahoma, West Virginia. And we will have gymnasts also vying for individual titles in the all-around and individual events. And a subplot to this event, really, and it's quite a big subplot, is Iowa State and West Virginia aren't just competing for conference titles. They are competing for their postseason lives, and they are going to need to put up some big scores, some of the biggest scores they've had this season if they hope to make it to the regionals. The first rotation will show Oklahoma on the floor exercise, West Virginia on vault, and Iowa State on the uneven bars. And we see the rankings by event for Oklahoma. We talked about how they're in the top 3 on each event. They're the only team in the country that can say that. And that look on KJ Kindler's face there, that's a happy look. That's exuberant for her. She's got her game face on. Now, she is an outstanding coach and has done one heck of a job, Alicia, at Oklahoma.
That's for sure. She turned that program around, and it wasn't until about 2008 that you really started to see the Sooners really make an impact in the NCAA.
And the thing that's amazing, they've been in the top 3 a few times, 3 times in the last 4 years, I believe, and it's just so hard to crack that top spot. It's so competitive at the top. It's just a matter of, you know, a step here, an unpointed toe there, and they're national champions. This could be their year.
It really could.
Here's their first rotation order. They're going to be starting off with nobody but just a Big 12 all-around champion on this event, Taylor Spears. And that's a nice little thing to have up your sleeve. When you're starting with a conference champ, you're first up, because typically that first gymnast isn't going to be your best gymnast on that event.
I believe Taylor was also the co-champ for floor last year, too.
I believe you are correct, Alicia. So they're starting out with a Big 12 champ, not just in the all-around, but the floor exercise, Taylor Spears.
Been a pretty solid floor set for Taylor thus far. Some strong tumbling, nice landings.
How important, Alicia, these, even though they can drop one of their scores, 6 girls up on each event, they can drop their lowest score. How important is it early on to get the momentum with these first couple routines?
The first person is very strategic and mental. You have to have them go and know they're going to be a consistent hit. That way you can set the timing up for everybody else to build on that score. So typically the first score won't be the highest, but it should be at least a strong start.
And so Oklahoma's out of the gate, the first routine, really no major breaks, a couple small things. You mentioned a few steps maybe here or there, but it's going to be a big score right out of the gate, I would suspect.
I agree. I think it was a very clean routine, nice dance. Nothing too fancy. Right here, you're going to see a front handspring, around, 1.5 punch layout. That is actually a bonus pass because you have 2 different flips happening in opposite directions. So that will give her about a 10th or 2 bonus right there.
So the defending Big 12 champ, who's got her first event under her belt, and we are going to go and check out Iowa State. They're starting on the uneven bars, and this is Michelle Sheely. She's a great story, and she's a senior for Iowa State, and she is coming back from a pretty traumatic injury last year she sustained on this event, on her dismount, which we'll see here in a moment.
Now up on ball for West Virginia.
Very nice set for her. Even with a scary fall and dismount like that, she still does it, which is, it takes a lot of character to be able to do something like that.
Yeah, the double front there. A couple years ago, she actually was doing a timer on this dismount right here. It's a tough dismount, double front. She did a timer, actually landed on her head, and from description of Coach Jay Ronayne, it was a pretty traumatic landing. She was fortunate to come back, and is really important to that team. 9.75 from Michelle Sheely on the uneven bars as we go back over to the floor with Oklahoma. This is freshman Chase Capps, and talking to KJ, Alicia, she said this freshman class she has, they are going to be studs, and she said this one in particular, Chase Capps, has got star written all over her.
I was watching her floor routine and warm-up, and I absolutely loved it, so I'm excited to see how it looks with full tumbling.
Taylor Spears started off for Oklahoma with a 9.825.
Around off back handspring double pike with a slight step back, but really nice height and good form. A front layout, front full to a punch stag jump. Nice connection right there. Again, you will see some bonus for that.
Alicia, how important is the presentation on floor and the kind of the theatrics of it? You see some girls really get into it and kind of play to the crowd. Is there a spot on the judges' score sheet for that?
Artistry is actually a very big component to almost all the events in gymnastics, at least on balance beam and floor exercise. There are artistry deductions if you don't actually present yourself well enough. So it is definitely important. Very nice last pass to a punch layout step out. Solid routine.
So the freshman delivers. Chase Capps finishes up her floor exercise routine for the Sooners. First Big 12 championship for her. So far, she's loving it.
I'm interested to see what she scored with that. I know there was a few steps here and there in her tumbling, but overall it was really nice.
Everybody's getting high five. How about us? Hook us up with one of those. Taking another look at Chase.
That is a round off back handspring, back twisting double full to a punch layout step out. You don't see many girls doing those these days.
I like it. You usually see them do the punch front out of that double full, and that's cool. I like it. Over to West Virginia and the vault. This is the senior from Blue Springs, Missouri, Erica Smith.
Yurchenko laid out half, a little bit piked on the second part of the flight, which caused her to take that big step at the end, but it was a hit for West Virginia.
Straighten that out, she might have a stuck landing on this.
For sure. There it is again. And right there you see her pike to try to see that blind landing.
9.65 for Erica Smith. Back over to the floor exercise. Oklahoma continuing to roll.
Very nice controlled double back.
This is Erica Brewer, junior from Louisville, Kentucky. By the way, Chase Capps scores a 9.825 for her floor routine, so a couple of 9s for Oklahoma to start this event.
Those jump combinations you guys have been seeing are requirements and they are bonus. So with the more jumps you see them do, the more bonus they're going to be getting. Nice round up back handspring double pike. Strong way to finish a routine.
Yeah, I was just going to say, you don't see a lot of the double flipping dismounts in collegiate gymnastics, but already Oklahoma putting up some big passes, some big routines. Take a look at the last pass one more time, Alicia.
Starting off strong. There's your round off back handspring. Nice set. A tiny bit early on the open for the double pike, but it was still a strong landing.
So Oklahoma, ever consistent. We talked about what they're going to need to do to let somebody into this competition. They're going to have to make mistakes. So far, not doing it. And one of the favorites for West Virginia, also a favorite in the all-around, Hope Sloanhofer. On vault.
Oh, a nice Yurchenko full with a little hop there at the end. She was trying to stick it, but just couldn't hold on to it.
It was there. I saw her warm it up, and it looked really good. There's a 9.825. So keeping pace with some of the scores that we saw from Oklahoma on the floor exercise. So we're underway in the first rotation here in Morgantown at the Big 12 Gymnastics Championships. We continue the first rotation here at the Big 12 Gymnastics Championships in Morgantown, West Virginia. We're going to go to the uneven bars, and another one of our all-around favorites, for this one from Iowa State. Caitlin Brown gets ready to go on the uneven bars. Caitlin's a junior from Apple Valley, Minnesota. She's one of those gymnasts that Coach Jay Ronayne said took a little bit of a chance on when she came in as a freshman, but a chance that he is happy he took. She has really been outstanding for them.
Nice Nice connections for her. A blind change full to Ginger to direct overshoot. A nice blind full to direct double back. Really nice routine for her.
Yeah, stuck landing. Caitlin Brown certainly going to be in the mix. We see a 9.8. She's going toe-to-toe with Hope Sloanhofer, who we saw in vault. So just a quarter of a tenth separating those two so far after one. Long way to go, however.
Here you see West Virginia's Jada Lawrence getting ready to do her vault.
Jada was a member of the Jamaican national team, believe it or not, competed at the World Championships for them, and is a big vaulter.
Of sky-high Yurchenko full with a small hop on that landing.
We needed to go a little wider on that camera angle on that one. She kind of went out the top of the screen. Completely, actually. That was impressive. Just need that stuck landing. We're going to see some stuck landings on vault, I think, but that is such a key there. That's where you're going to get to the 9.95s and even the 10.0s. There's a 9.875 for Jada. For Oklahoma, Miley Kaneva. They call her the Flying Hawaiian. Born in Hawaii, moved to Minnesota of all places, my home state. Quite a contrast.
A nice piked full in. Beautiful landing and showing off that stick. Gearing up for second tumbling pass. A front full punch laid out half. One thing I love about these college routines is they're a lot more expressive and fun than the routines you'd see at the elite level. They also often have more modern day music, and it's just more hip, I think, than the elite scene.
Well, you also have to cram about 5 or 6 passes in an elite routine. They get a chance in between their passes to do a little dance, right?
Yeah, they do. They get to show off their stuff, which is awesome. Great double pike. Strong routine for Oklahoma.
Beautiful mount, too. Love the pike full in. Miley really came back from quite a scare a year ago. She had a blood clot in her hand and made quite an amazing comeback to not only compete last year, but certainly a big help this year.
Ending with a huge double pike. Check out that smile. She was stoked.
You can't help it, right? That we saw a 9. We actually didn't get to see the 9.9 Laura Albright put up earlier, so the scores are building for Oklahoma. This one easily could be above that 9.9. Anchoring the Iowa State lineup on the uneven bars, Camille Santerre-Gervais, the senior, ranked 13th in the country on this event, trying to cap off a great rotation for the Cyclones.
Nice handstand. Blind change to Pike Yeager. Bill. Gearing up for her dismount here. A beautiful stuck double layout.
Wow.
Great set.
Impeccable. Hard to find a deduction in that routine.
And here's her dismount again. 2 flips, perfect straight body, and a stuck landing.
You cannot do a better double layout than that. Nails it for a 9.95. My only question is, where'd they find that half a tenth? Great job for the Cyclones. And the rich get richer. We go over to Oklahoma on the floor exercise, and this is Haley Skaman, number 1 in the country, ranked number 1. She's scored a 10.0 on this event this year. Let's see if she can do it again. Just a sophomore from Riverside, Illinois. Oklahoma has not put a score up lower than a 9.825 on this event today.
Huge Huge double layout from Haley. That was sky high. Now we know why she's in contention for a national title on the floor.
Well, really, for her, with the level of gymnastics she has, it's just going to come down to how well she lands.
A front 1.5 twist to punch back layout step out.
West Virginia is on the uneven bars, and Iowa State is on the balance beam. Gymnasts will prepare.
Haley has a great combination of strength and grace. She has nice getting ready to finish up this floor routine. A round off back handspring double back. That was real close to perfect in my opinion.
Yeah, maybe hopped out of that double, you think, a little bit at the end, maybe gave away something there, Alicia?
I think just maybe a little tiny bit. Her chest was a little low, causing her to make that a little bit uncontrolled step. Huge double layout.
Can't do it a whole lot better than that.
No, you cannot.
She's following up a 9.925 from Miley Kaneva. So let's see if she can beat that, a 9.95, so not the 10.0, but man, I tell you what, Oklahoma's come to play. So the first rotation is in the books. Oklahoma certainly taking an early lead and showing why they are the #3 ranked team in the country. The Mountaineer keeps watch over the West Virginia University and Morgantown. Looks a lot like me, I think, Alicia.
Yes, very stoic, just like you, Joe.
My chest is a little bigger than that. One rotation is under our belts in Oklahoma with the early lead over Iowa State and West Virginia, but it is close. Only 0.325 over Iowa State and 0.35 over West Virginia. Iowa State puts up a 49-1 on that first event, the uneven bars, which is a good score. And keep in mind, we talked about that automatic qualifying score for Iowa State. It's a 196.025, which basically means they need to average a 9.8, which means they need to average a 49. They went 49-1 on that first event, so that is good for them. They need to keep that up. Not a lot of wiggle room, 1/10 wiggle room, but also for West Virginia, they need to improve their qualifying score. In order to do that, they need better than a 9.75 per counting score. They did that on vault with a 49.075, but they do have the uneven bars and the beam yet to come, which can be tougher. As we go to the beam, our first look at the balance beam, this is Alex Maresco, a sophomore from Omaha, Nebraska, starting out for Iowa State.
It's a nice jump mount to a torsion-tate 3/4. That is actually a very difficult jump, so you don't often see those in the NCAA.
Alicia, I'm not sure if anybody told you this, but the beam is 4 inches wide. You could just not jump, and this thing is dangerous, difficult.
It is not easy, and I'm gonna level with you guys. That was a nice series, but beam is a love-hate relationship. Some days you're on it and you're flying high. The next day you want to take a blowtorch to it. You just sometimes you can't win.
I think it's a hate-hate relationship. I mean, I'm just, especially here when the pressure is on in the postseason, it's got to be brutal.
Alex putting up a really clean routine so far. Jump to aerial to back layout, full stuck dismount.
A great start for Iowa State.
It is. It's definitely putting them in the right direction towards getting their 49 on beam.
Yeah, they really don't have a whole lot of room to spare. They end the meet on vault, which is a little bit of a weak event for them, so they need some big scores early.
Again, here you see the jump, aerial to back layout, full.
I love how they connect those, because if you're off on that aerial, it doesn't really matter. You're getting off the beam.
Right? Oh, yeah, you just hope your second foot gets on so you can throw the last skill.
Going over to the vault, and this is a big vault. Madison Mooring for Oklahoma. All-American on this event.
A stuck, laid out half.
And those are the types of, she's pumped. Those are the types of performances you see. 10, only a 9.9. A little tough. You know, she is the first gymnast up. Maybe they're a little apprehensive to be giving out that big score, but honestly, if that's the anchor vault, she'd get 9.95 minimum, I think. Going back over to the balance beam, this is Mylan Ivory. Iowa State on a little bit of a roll. Mylan's a senior from Marietta, Georgia. Comes out of Georgia All-Stars.
Back handspring layout 2 feet. That is a difficult skill right there.
And that popped off the beam. That was aggressive.
She had some height. Straddle 3/4. Switch side there. You can tell she's gearing up her dismount, taking that dance as a final spot to catch her breath. A punch front full. I think they might give her the stick for that.
I'm giving it to her. I'm giving it to her. That other part, that's a celebration, Alicia. You got to let them have a little bit of...
Oh, I'm giving it to him, too. Here's her series one more time. A back handspring, step out to lay out 2 feet.
Wow.
Extremely difficult.
Iowa State, they come out, they have no room for error if they want to catch Oklahoma and if they want to make it to the regionals. So more from rotation 2 when we return. Back to the West Virginia University Coliseum midway through the second round of action here at the Women's Big 12 Gymnastics Championships. We move back over to the uneven bars and another all-around contender, Hope Sloanhofer. We saw her do an outstanding vault first rotation.
Starting off nice and clean. Failed a handstand. A nice full in. A little bit low with her chest on the landing, but it was stuck.
That'll keep her certainly in contention for the all-around and also keep that team score building, and they need a nice team score as well. We talked about that earlier. 9.825. West Virginia currently averaging over a 9.8 on the uneven bars as well. Over to the vault, Haley Skaman. We saw her on arguably her best event, floor exercise, earlier in the competition. Dare I say this one is just as good.
Nice Yurchenko full.
She bailed from a mile in the air. I mean, that's got to be an odd. She took a little hop. Haley, you're set up perfect. Stick that.
So close. She actually has gotten a 10 on that vault before. Just a little bit of that hop on the landing that killed her.
9.925.
Here from West Virginia. I'm sorry, John.
You got Duco. Who is this, Alicia?
Is Alexa Goldberg.
She's a freshman. A lot of youth on this West Virginia team. They rely on a lot of underclassmen. About half of their team are freshmen or gymnasts that have never before this year competed a particular event. So that bodes well, certainly, for the future of the Mountaineers. Whoa!
Beautiful dismount. A very aggressive set from Alexa. Honestly, I liked it. Hopefully the judges did too.
They did, a 9.9, and like a dart into the dartboard, that double layout was perfect. Great finish. Go back over to the balance beam. Camille Santerre-Gervais finishing off their beam rotation. This routine, I don't want to say this routine is the meat for Iowa State, but this is critical. She doesn't hit, they are going to count a miss, and so far you cannot afford to do that in this competition.
Gymnasts, please prepare for the touch warm-up. Coaches, please sit at the scores table when you're ready to begin.
Getting ready for her series.
Beautiful.
A very clean and stuck back handspring layout step out.
Michelle Shealy scoring 9.3.
Nice dance connection.
That bar routine we saw moments ago from Alexa Goldberg at 9.9. So outstanding finish for West Virginia.
Nice side aerial. She's really taking her time, not rushing any of her skills.
It's funny, some girls work the 4-inch wide beam like it's 4 feet wide. It looks easy to them. Others look like they're always checking that balance, but that was
a solid set.
Much needed. Another look at the dismount, Alicia.
A nice gainer pike off the end of the beam.
Fairly simple dismount, but you know, when you're going to do simple dismounts, you got to have good landings like that.
That's right.
You can tell that team needed that routine. So 2 rotations are underway here at the Big 12 Championship. West Virginia and Iowa State looked like they could be contenders. Morgantown, West Virginia, and the Monongahela River. This is actually what it looks like when it's not frozen. I'm told right now it is just an iceberg because the winter has been so brutal up here, but beautiful part of the country. I might have to make a trip back here, do a little whitewater rafting. As we see the standings, Oklahoma in first, 99.00, but it's a lot closer than a lot of people thought. Only 0.77 behind is Iowa State, and right behind them, just another 10th back, West Virginia at 0.875 back of OU. And Iowa State and West Virginia are doing exactly what they need to do. They just put up tied season highs on that last event, Iowa State on beam, West Virginia on the uneven bars. So they are doing exactly what they have to do. Now they need to ask Oklahoma to help them out a little bit, and this is a former national teammate of yours, Alicia, junior Rebecca Clark.
Rebecca is known for this event. She's a very strong competitor. She was at Club of Gage Gymnastics in Missouri, where they have produced multiple Olympians. Doesn't get much better than that.
It really doesn't. If the rest of the field is hoping Oklahoma gives them a little help, so far that's not the case. Now Oklahoma, incidentally, is going to the bars and going to the beam, which I think it's fair to say it's easier to make mistakes on those events if you're going to make some.
No doubt about it. Here again, you can see her dismount. A blind change full connected to direct double back.
So Oklahoma starting well on the uneven bars. Haley Johnson over on the floor exercise, senior from Covina, California. We saw her earlier today.
A nice jump connection there. Nice little wink to the judges there.
Trying to get some bonus.
A nice front handspring layout, punch front full.
And a good finish. Obviously, we didn't see the very beginning of that one, but by the looks of it, Iowa State still continuing to roll. And again, 2 great events, trying to keep that momentum going on floor exercise.
Here's her last pass again. That strong connecting front layout to a punch front layout full.
Haley Johnson regrouping on the sidelines. Amanda Carpenter getting ready to go up in the balance beam, the senior from Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Had a breakout junior season for the Mountaineers. Rebecca Clark, by the way, first girl up on bars, 9.90 for Oklahoma.
West Virginia, Nicolette Swoboda.
Getting ready here. A nice front aerial to back handspring. Just gearing up here for her dismount. Nice jump connection. Front aerial. Split jump. front full dismount.
Looked like she dumped it a little bit off the end of the beam there, but no big breaks, just a small step in the landing. And again, West Virginia and Iowa State certainly making sure they keep Oklahoma honest, if nothing else.
Here's her series connection, a front layout, step out to a back handspring. Difficult connection, going front to back. Sometimes it's easy to have a break.
This is freshman Charity Jones, a native of Oklahoma, getting ready to go on the uneven bars.
Nice blind change full to Tkachev.
We also talked about individual titles at stake at this meet. Right now on the uneven bars, Camille Santerre-Gervais has a 9.95 and owns that top spot. Obviously, Oklahoma, the last team to come to bars, so if anybody's going to knock her off, it's going to have to be a Sooner.
Nice double A. A little bit piked right from the takeoff of the bar, but stuck.
Yeah, nice job for the freshman. They expect a lot of great things from Charity. Charity, I first saw her at the Nastia Lucan Cup a couple years ago when she won that event. And here's another 9.9, the third one for Oklahoma on the uneven bars. Oklahoma also with a lot of youth on that team, and they're just reloading in Norman. Over to the floor, and this is the gymnast we just talked about, leading the uneven bars and also leading the balance beam currently. This is Camille Santerre-Gervais. Actually a native of Canada and moved to the United States, trained at Gymnastics, which is not too far from here in Morgantown.
Ready for her first tumbling pass. Very nice double back. The front full to front top pass.
Another unfortunate mistake. Now again, the pressure is on. Alicia and I during the break were just talking about how Iowa State's in a good spot. Getting 5 good scores on floor generally shouldn't be a problem. It's one of those events that it's a little tougher to make a mistake than, say, the balance beam. But here we go, a little mistake from Camille. It's going to put the pressure on the rest of the lineup.
It looks like she just didn't have enough power to get that second flip around. Here she goes for her last pass. Around off 1.5 punch front.
So the leader for the meet on uneven bars and balance beam is not going to be the leader on floor. And for Iowa State's sake, you can see a 9.075. They are going to want to drop that score. The third rotation is underway, and things are certainly heating up. The postseason at stake, a Big 12 conference title at stake. More when we return to Morgantown. Back to the West Virginia University Coliseum here in the Women's Big 12 Championships. And this is one of the all-around favorites for Iowa State, Caitlin Brown, and the pressure is on. They need a big score.
Front twisting double full. You can kind of tell Caitlin has some sass to her.
Alicia, I'm guessing you appreciate a little sass.
I always love a little sass.
You're a sassy gymnast, if I remember correctly.
I was. Switch lead. The dance is used as a time to breathe before your last or next tumbling pass.
They put in some strategic moves there to kind of give you an extra breath.
Like this, you're like, oh, I'm taking my time.
I always had to mix in some dance in my floor routine, too. A lot of people didn't know that.
A front 1.5 to punch layup step out right there in the corner, but she kept it in.
So we saw Camille getting 9.075. This is a much-needed hit routine from Caitlin Brown.
This is Caitlin's last pass again. The front laid out 1.5, punch back layout. Look where that back foot lands, so close to the corner.
Like she does it every time. Keely Kamichek over on the uneven bars. Oklahoma certainly not giving any room to West Virginia and Iowa State to make a move.
Oh, a little form break on that cast handstand to Hindor.
And this is the last rotation with an opportunity to knock off the current leader on the uneven bars, Camille Santerre-Gervais. We got a 9.95.
Very packed routine, hard skills. I don't know if that will beat it, though. She had a little form breaks here and there.
I don't think so. It's a 9.9, so Camille holds that top spot on the uneven bars, but I tell you what, Oklahoma looks automatic. Closing out the rotation for West Virginia on the balance beam, this is junior Dea Haley. Coaches say she thrives under pressure. Anchoring your team at the Big 12 championship certainly would qualify as pressure.
I was watching her in warm-up, and she does beam like she's on the floor. She doesn't think of it as 4 inches. She goes after it like it's wider than that. Beautiful back handspring layup step out.
I love the enthusiasm of the Mountaineers in the background cheering her on. They look like they want to just take that barrier down.
They are riled up for sure. A little jump connection there. That is called a sheep jump, and it's difficult because you actually lose sight of the beam when you stick your head back. Finishing strong with a nice gainer pike off the end.
So Dea Haley and the West Virginia Mountaineers continue an outstanding competition for them. There's the dismount one more time, just that hop. A 9.825, rounding out a great beam rotation for the Mountaineers. If the all-around title was a 3-event title, Haley Skaman would be your favorite. She killed it on the floor and the vault, and here she goes on another very good event for her, the uneven bars.
This will be the last event you will see Haley on today, and it is one of her bests. Here she is mounting over the low bar. Nice cast handstand. To a Blanche H. Pike Jaeger. Bail handstand. Getting ready for her dismount. A full in dismount stuck. Great bar set for Haley.
Like a toothpick and a club sandwich. Haley Skaman rocking it for Oklahoma. And things are certainly heating up. The postseason at stake, a Big 12 conference title at stake. More when we return to Morgantown. Probably the greatest athlete in West Virginia history, Jerry West. Outstanding basketball player. Led them to the Final Four in the 58-59 season. 1960 Olympic gold medalist and NBA Laker. Hall of Fame member. Helped win the NBA championship in '72. I am told he's not the greatest alumni from West Virginia, though, however. I'm told that Don Knotts actually holds that title. Jerry West definitely being the definitely being the best athlete. Here's the all-around standings after 3 events. Hope Sloanhofer holding a slim lead. And when I say slim, .025, that's like somebody's hair bow is out of place or something. That is tight between her and Caitlin Brown. Dea Haley at 29.275 behind them. So anything can happen down the stretch in the all-around standings. Now the team standings, Oklahoma still in the lead and a comfortable lead, but I have to be honest, Iowa State and West Virginia, outstanding competition. So far, the best competitions for them this year. And for Iowa State to be just over a point behind Oklahoma, that is amazing. That's an outstanding performance for them and Coach Jay Ronayne. And, you know, he talked to their team before this competition. He said, I'm not pulling any punches. I'm telling them, look, here's what's on the line. I'm not messing around. You guys got to understand what's at stake, and we're not going to kid ourselves. We have to go hit. And so far, they've done just that.
Here you have Oklahoma's Madison Mooring getting ready for the balance beam.
And here's what's interesting. You know, they do have a comfortable lead over a point over Iowa State. But here's the thing. They're on beam, Alicia, and you know that beam has the ability to be the great equalizer. So if they have a mistake, especially early in this rotation, it's going to put the pressure on those girls later in the rotation. And if Iowa State and West Virginia continue to hit, you know, anything can happen. But this is one of the best events for Oklahoma, that being said.
Yes, the beam is the epitome of the word wild card. Pick handspring layout. Slight bobble.
The Big 12 Conference would like to honor the seniors who participated.
Madison Mooring, a senior out of Sallisaw, Oklahoma. Went to Dynamo Gymnastics, coached by Dennis Harrison, a gymnast I competed against actually in college. He's done an outstanding job there. Also coached Charity Jones, who was on the Oklahoma team as well.
From Woodbridge, Virginia, Megan McDonald. From
Nice jump connection there.
Canada, Camille Santar. From San Bernardino, California, Henrietta Green. And from Snellville, Georgia.
You can see the Oklahoma head coach was standing at the very back end of the beam. That way she can see how dead on or how crooked her girls' skills are.
I don't know if I'd want to stand. I would just, you know, hide me in the corner. Let me know when it's over. Great job. Madison Mooring starting off well. 1 under the belt. They really only need 4, probably really to win this meet. Only 3 more good routines. They can afford to have some mistakes, but Madison Mooring certainly not letting that happen. 9.8.
Virginia University. From Cumberland, Maryland, Bethany Yurko.
Moving over to the vault, this is Alex Moresco. She has a really unique vault. She does a Yurchenko-style vault, but does a half turn in what's called a Cuervo off. Watch carefully. Nicely done.
I like it. You don't see this vault being performed very often, especially in the NCAA. There's the round off, the half on, and the half twist off to the flip.
Very, very interesting. Judges, according to Jay, said they've had a little trouble kind of deciphering that vault. 9.825, a great score for her. And again, coming into this event, we talked about that 196.025 that Iowa State needs to secure a spot in the regional championships. They just need to average just a little over a 9.7 in order to do that so far in vault. Looking good. And this is Kara Lovan, another stud freshman for the Oklahoma Sooners.
Camille Santar and Sarah Townsend. From the University of Oklahoma, Laura Albright.
Switch leap straddle quarter.
Rebecca Clark. Myliana Caneva. Keely Kamicek.
Setting up here for her series.
Haley Stamen. Taylor Spears.
Back handspring layout with a slight step back and a bobble.
And for West Virginia University, Melissa Idell.
Kara was the 2013 Junior National All-Around Champion.
Hope Sloanhofer. Erica Smith. Bethany Yurko. And Beth Teal. Congratulations on your academic achievements. At this time, the Big 12 Conference would like to honor
A standing layout step out to a back full. Gainer full, excuse me.
Interesting, yeah, I haven't seen that before.
No, I haven't. That's new. And here's that dismount again. Back layout step out, swing, oh, step in full. Okay, that we were right at first.
That I was going to correct you on that, actually. I thought that was a step in.
Yeah, it was a step in. You're correct.
Kara Lovan, 9.85. One step closer to another Big 12 championship for KJ Kindler and the Oklahoma Sooners. As we go over to the floor exercise, and this is Melissa Adele, sophomore from Newark, Delaware, and First State Gymnastics. Been battling some back issues and has just been able to train just enough to stay in shape and get this floor routine together for competition.
A nice 2.5 twist, a little bit uncontrolled on the landing, but good form in the air.
We talked before the meet started that West Virginia needed to improve their regional qualifying score. In order to do that, needed a 195.45. They're in great shape. All they need to do is do better than a 9.6 on this event, and they will do that. The one caveat to qualifying for regionals, though, is there's a chance that Iowa State could take them out of the regionals if they meet their score of a 196.025, which they are on pace to do. So it's complicated, but bottom line is West Virginia needs to keep putting up 9.7, 9.8s on this event.
Melissa getting ready for her last tumbling pass here. A front 1.5 twist. Solid set for West Virginia.
Again, I'm impressed by the level of gymnastics. Now, obviously, we knew what Oklahoma had, but we knew that West Virginia and Iowa State had struggled this year, and they have come in guns blazing and hit some great gymnastics. Neither team counting a miss in today's competition.
Here you see her last tumbling pass again. Beautiful front laid out 1.5.
Melissa Idell and the West Virginia Mountaineers, all smiles and all high fives as we get ready to finish out the 4th rotation here in Morgantown.
For us to repeat the title from last year, it's going to take confidence and doing what we do every day in the gym.
I don't think I even have words to describe what that would be like. This team's extremely talented, and we've had a really great week in the gym of practice. So, I mean, I think we could do it, and I think we're just going to focus on doing everything that we can in our power, but to get that title. But if not, we're just looking for a great score today.
I just think a lot of confidence and do what we know how to do. Just think we're in the gym, and I think that'll help a lot.
It would mean the world to us. We have 16 years. So that's a lot of people that we're sending out, and we want to send them out on the highest note possible. And that would basically be it. Like, there's nothing higher than that for us right now at this meet, and that would just put everyone in the best possible place.
It would just be incredible, since we're so new into the Big 12, coming in as our 2nd year, to win that title against these other awesome schools would just be an incredible experience.
To win the Big 12 championship certainly would mean a lot, and we are on vault. This is Henrietta Green, the senior, finishing out an unbelievable competition for Iowa State.
Very nice Yurchenko layout half. She's excited about it.
And they are on a roll, putting up some big scores, hoping to guarantee that spot to the regional championship.
A 9.85 for Henrietta.
The last-minute coaching tips from KJ Kindler as Erica Brewer gets ready to go on her last event, the balance beam. And a little bit of a side note, don't forget Beth Deal, who we just saw in those sound bites moments ago, is in the lead on this event. The West Virginia gymnast scored a 9.9, so that individual title still at stake here in the 4th rotation.
Nice back handspring layout. connection there. I think Erica takes a very aggressive approach to the balance beam, which, in my opinion, makes it easier. Don't second guess yourself. You just go 100%. Round up double back, big dismount.
Yeah, I've not seen the double back done today. KJ giving her the bear hug. Another look at the dismount, Alicia.
There you go, round off. 2 flips. Pretty good landing, just a little step back. But a nice set for Erica.
9.875 for Erica Brewer. So Beth Deal still holds the top score on that event, and Oklahoma 1 step closer to another Big 12 championship. Dea Haley for West Virginia, the junior from Pasadena, Maryland, and comes from a gym you know well. Everyone in the gymnastic community knows Hills Gymnastics. Produced Courtney Coupette's Olympic medalist and world champion.
A very nice tuck full in. Ooh, a nice wolf 1.5.
With a score of 198, the Big 12.
A round off 1.5 punch front pike.
Conference champion is Oklahoma University.
West Virginia's really hoping for some strong performance on the floor exercise so they can try to solidify their spot in the postseason at regionals.
Yeah, very good point. They are also ahead of the average they needed to get to improve their regional qualifying score. However, I don't think they quite bargained for Iowa State to have the meet that they've had so far. But Dea Haley finishes strong on floor exercise. They have put up big scores already, averaging right around that 9.8 mark.
A nice double back to finish. She makes it look easy.
Definitely 9.85 for Dea Haley. Here we go, Chase Capps. Chase, somebody who's not highly recruited, KJ Kindler said, but she just works her tail off. In some cases, does even more than her coaches want her to do. She is a hard worker. She's ranked in the top 10 in the country on this event. Certainly somebody who could win the Big 12 crown, rather, on this event.
Interesting mount for Chase. It's not very difficult, but it just looks cool. Back handspring layout to jump. Very nice connection. Oklahoma's using these competitions to gear them up for NCAA championships, where they're going to be fighting for that #1 team spot.
And you notice there's no Sooners in the all-around standings. KJ Kindler said that's not their main priority. Their main priority is putting the best lineup on the floor, and the lineup that's going to help them get prepared for the NCAA championships, like you mentioned. That's the ultimate care for them. Been in the top 3. That's not good enough for KJ and their staff anymore. They need to win it.
Cartwheel to full twisting gainer off the side.
Going to be close. Not sure if that's good enough for the top score. Not quite. 9.9 for Chase Capps. Nothing to sneeze at as Oklahoma continues to roll, and we will be back with our final performances here in Morgantown in the 2014 Big 12 Gymnastics Championships in moments.
I guess going going into this last rotation, just staying focused and doing the good gymnastics that I've been doing all year, having fun out there doing floor. It's my favorite event to compete, so I think just not doing anything new, just doing the same thing as always, and really enjoying having the home crowd out there supporting me.
It would mean a lot, as it would with anybody, but especially just because I'm a senior. It's my last year, and to win all around going into regionals, knowing that I could possibly make it to nationals would really help me kind of build that adrenaline just going forward.
It would mean a lot. Not the focus, but just the icing on the cake. That would just be on cloud 9.
That's what it would be like to win the Big 12 all-around title, and a couple of those gymnasts are yet to go. But before that, we have Taylor Spears, the 5th gymnast up for Oklahoma.
She's one of Oklahoma's 5 seniors.
Somebody that certainly could win this event. We talked about how it is still up for grabs. Taylor has scored a 9.975 on this event this year, currently ranks 4th in the country.
That was a nice nodie to back handspring swing down. Of her 6 individual event titles that she has from this year, 4 of them are from the balance beam. Solid front aerial there.
I can't quite grasp how you do the front aerial because your foot touches the beam and your head's still way back. You can't see where you're going, right?
Here's the thing. I can't do one, so I don't fathom it either. It is an enigma to me. Beautiful set from Taylor Spears.
Looked pretty good. She needs better than a 9.9 to win that event.
Here's her dismount. A back handspring, swing to gainer full off the side. Perfectly stuck.
She loves it, the team loves it, and the judges love it as well. A 9.95 will put her in the lead with only her teammate yet to come. Back over to the vault in Milan Ivory for Iowa State, and again, they are rolling on this event, trying to earn a regional berth. This could seal it if she can nail this vault. It's a unique one.
A front handspring, front tuck full. And done very well, if I do say so myself. Here it is again.
It's kind of your style vault, Alicia.
It is. She gets a lot higher than I did, though.
No, you got some pretty good height, but that was outstanding for the Cyclone, a 9.875. That regionals may just become a reality. Back over to the balance beam, and Rebecca Clark anchors the Oklahoma Sooner beam squad.
A former national team member. Beam was one of Rebecca's strongest events, and that was due to her strength and her flexibility. A nice front aerial, 2 back handspring swing down.
The Big 12 co-champion on this event in 2013 could do that again, but she's going to have to tie her teammate Taylor Spears, who we saw moments ago, with a 9.95.
What I like about watching Rebecca is she makes beam look easy, and that most people are not that flexible, but that she makes it look like anybody could do it.
It's funny, I don't feel that way at all when I watch her, Alicia.
Well, it's because you're a man.
No, but I know what you mean. She does make it look easy.
Getting ready here for her dismount. A round off at 1.5, a little bit short, but she covers it up on that landing.
Great routine. It'll be interesting to see if that little hop may have cost her a share of the title on this event.
Here's that dismount again. And right there is where she's almost short.
Gravy for Oklahoma, and there's the 9.875. So Taylor Spears will win the balance beam, but Oklahoma Sooners will win the team championship. Back over to the vault, Caitlin Brown. She said winning the all-around title would be icing on the cake. She needs to put up a big vault right here.
A very nice Yurchenko full.
Trailed Hope Sloanhofer by 1/4 of a tenth coming into this rotation.
Very nice vault.
And a 9.85, so that will let Hope know that she will need better than a 9.825 on her last event, which is the floor exercise right here. So better than a 9.825 to win the all-around title outright. It would be the first ever Big 12 individual title for a West Virginia gymnast. She said, the last event, all I got to do is stay focused and have fun. If you can have fun when the pressure's on, that's saying something, Alicia.
I think floor is probably the easiest event to have fun on, where the other ones are a little bit more stressful and require a lot more attention to what you're doing. Sky high double pike. Front layup to front half, connected to a stack jump.
The 9.825, better than a 9.825, is certainly well within her abilities, but not a gimme either. Those landings are going to be critical. One more pass to go.
This is one of my favorite songs that have been used for floor routines from Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Resting up right before her last pass. A front handspring laid out 1.5.
And Hope Sloanhofer may just be your new Big 12 all-around champion.
Here's her last pass again. Front handspring, there's that 1.5 twist. Really showing off that landing.
Not sure if she realizes how close it is. Certainly has that smile on her face. Looks like she is having a good time. And if this is a 9.85, it'll be a great time. Better than that, 9.9, Hope Sloanhofer is your 2014 Big 12 all-around champion. What a way to finish your conference career. And we will have the final results when we return. Looks to be Oklahoma as a repeat team champion and Hope Sloanhofer as your new all-around champion. The sun is setting literally and figuratively on the women's Big 12 Gymnastics Championships here in Morgantown, West Virginia. And Oklahoma, they will repeat as the Big 12 team champions with a 198, a record 198 score, biggest score in Big 12 championship history. But Iowa State and West Virginia, they brought it. They brought their best competitions of the year and actually made it a little bit interesting down the stretch, their highest scores of the season. Individually, Miley Kaneva on the vault for Oklahoma repeats as champion there. For Iowa State, Camille Santerre-Gervais, a 9.95. She breaks up the individual event sweep for Oklahoma. Taylor Spears repeats on balance beam as a champion there. And Haley Skaman, she's gotten 10.0s on floor all year. #1 ranked gymnast in the country. She wins the title there. And, of course, Hope Sloanhofer with the first ever West Virginia Big 12 individual championship. And now we are with a couple of our coaches and also a Big 12 all-around champion. Congratulations, Hope.
Thank you.
Hope, how does it feel to be the first gymnast from West Virginia to be the Big 12 all-around champion?
I'm just so honored. We had such a nice crowd out here today supporting us, and just to be able to come out and have a great showing as a team, but also as an individual, is just such a blessing.
Now, you started off the competition on the vault. Now, did you think going after your first event that you had a chance at the all-around title, or is that something that you didn't let enter your mind?
I was thinking about it a little bit, but not trying to let it overwhelm my thoughts. It wasn't my strongest vault, so I knew I had to really keep it up and step it up throughout the rest of this competition, and I'm just really excited.
Now you're graduating after this year. How does it feel knowing that you get to go to regionals and continue your collegiate career for one more competition?
I'm so excited. I knew coming in that I would have the opportunity to go, and I'm just so glad that I had the opportunity to finish out here strong in the Coliseum at home, and we'll see where I end up for regionals and where the team hopefully ends up as well.
Hope, congratulations again. Thank you for your time.
Thanks, Hope. I have the honor of having a couple coaches here. One is the Big 12 champion coach, KJ Kindler. KJ, 198 Big 12 record. I don't know if you know that. Big 12 championship record. Is this where you guys want to be at this point of the season?
Oh, absolutely. We've gone 198 3 times on the road, and it's a great feeling going into regionals and nationals to know your team can hit like that.
Is this meet, obviously you want to win a Big 12 title, but is this meet a stepping stone at this point of your career towards the NCAAs?
I don't think it's a stepping stone, but a preparation for what comes next. And, you know, we've had big goals all year, so we just want to keep going.
Is anything less than a national championship the way you want your season to end?
No, but we'll do our best and put our best foot forward, and that would be amazing.
Well, congratulations. I know you guys are going to do a great job at NCAAs. And this guy over here, I have to say, talking to you before the competition, I mean, it wasn't roses and sunshine. Let's be honest, Jay. I mean, you had to let your team have it a little bit, and you told me you had to come out and get a 196.025, I believe. My math isn't very good, and I don't have my calculator, but I was told that's what you needed. You had a season best score. Can you put this into words?
We spoke with the team the whole week about just doing their job and what is their job. It's a 985 or better on every single event, and no matter who you are. That is what their job is, and if they're not doing that, then they shouldn't be doing what we do. And we challenged them. We said, if you're not doing your job, there's the door. And nobody walked out that door. Everybody said, we're in, we're all in. And I'm so proud of them for actually stepping up and doing it for each other. It was pretty fun.
You are going to regional, so it's 100% now. Is there anything besides what the coaches said? Did any of the gymnasts kind of say, look, guys, you know, we need to look in the mirror here, and we need to make this happen for ourselves, regardless of, you know, what you guys are doing? Absolutely. We have 6 seniors, and they challenged the rest of the team. They said, we're not going to end our season at the Big 12 championship. That is not how it ends for the Cyclones. And the underclassmen responded, and they stepped up when they had to, you know, and that was what kind of turned the tide for us. So this is your new coaching plan, right? Just to sandbag all year and then come in the last minute. Well, congratulations, Jay. Congratulations, KJ and Hope. Thank you guys on another great Big 12 championship. So, Alicia, did you have a highlight from today's competition?
I think the highlight for me was seeing West Virginia's Hope Sloanhofer take the Big 12 all-around title. I was really happy for her.
The first ever for West Virginia. So that will do it from Morgantown as Oklahoma takes another step to its ultimate goal of a national championship. They have now won their 6th Big 12 title in the last 7 years. For the entire FSN crew, my partner Alicia Quinn, I'm John Roethlisberger. Goodbye from West Virginia.